All right, now to what's going on with the super committee. You took to Twitter today. You don't think it's going to work out?
Well, it's frustrating that our democracy is now behind closed doors. I didn't like the debt ceiling deal in the first place, and setting up this very limited committee to represent everyone in this country and doing it behind closed doors, I don't like. And I know the top goal of the Democrats is to force Republicans to accept some tax increases. And I think it's not so much about the revenue, because I think a lot of them know that if we just have a low flat rate and some good economic policies, we'll have more revenue just from growth. But they want to get revenue from tax increases so that they can say Republicans broke their word. So I think it's a read my lips moment for Republicans. We cannot accept tax increases. Washington already wastes trillions of dollars a year. It makes no sense to take more from hardworking taxpayers and bring it to Washington. We need to cut spending. And if the Democrats aren't willing to join us in cutting spending, I think Republicans just need to say, we'll take this to the people in 2012 and elect some people who will cut spending.
All right, in the House there's a letter that was sent, and one of the letters that included some Republicans as bipartisan, saying that one of the things that they would agree to is tax increase. So I said there are some Republican members in the House that are willing to do that.
I think there's some who are willing to look at loopholes, and for me, I'll eliminate deductions, loopholes, if we can get a low rate. But it needs to be budget neutral for the primary reason this government doesn't need any more money. I mean, we're already taking in more money and wasting more money than we should. We need to cut spending. We had some bills this week, Greta, just trying to cut small amounts from a wasteful agricultural program or an aviation program. We could not get even a majority to cut anything small.
All right, but when there's the waste, there's different kinds of waste. There's waste where I don't think we need it type waste, you know, that we don't really need it. But there's also waste in a city where you have money just gets, you know, was spent on empty office space, your duplicate services I mean, there's really horrendous waste that there isn't a single person disagree with, and we never seem to go after that.
The General Accounting Office puts out this huge
that
list.
one in March, that Senator
Coburn worked on, and just lots of waste.
But was anything done with that?
You can put these things on the floor for a vote, and you can't get a majority.
How can you not get people to vote on things that are just simply like, it's basically like, should we put this $1 billion in the toilet?
Well, this is why we can't compromise with the Democrats, and some people don't like to hear it. The Democrats depend on dependent people, and particularly government workers, and any cut in a government program, no matter how wasteful it is or ineffective.
But some of it isn't even jobs. It's just like empty office space.
Well, we do have billions of dollars of empty federal buildings that we need to sell.
Well, Donald Trump could probably buy some if he had the right price.
He would, but to get the Democrats to cut spending is just against the culture in their party right now. And we have to recognize that as Republicans. That's why 2012 is so important. We can't work with this party anymore. They're controlled by unions. They're trying to expand government workers, union workers, and I'd love to say we can work and cooperate together, but they're going to run this country into bankruptcy unless we change things.
I can understand, I mean, those who don't want to cut services that maybe the Republicans want to cut, but I just simply don't understand those parts of the GAO report that is just flat out waste, that it doesn't generate anything for anybody.
We don't want to cut services.
No, but I mean, suppose that you might think we should restrict eligibility for some social service or something.
Right.
I mean, if you think that we shouldn't do it for whatever reason, and the Democrats fight you on that, I understand that fight. What I don't understand is that where there's just simply flat out waste.
Yeah.
That's what
I don't either. You've got empty federal buildings, but I can guarantee you we could not get the Democrats to agree to sell it because those buildings are being maintained by government workers, and they're not going to go there. They want the president's jobs plan is propping up government jobs at the state level right now, and it really
maybe get some to Trump, and maybe he'll hire them to do work on the buildings or something. Kind of deal. I don't know. He says he's looking for good deals.
Well, Trump has been in business. He understands how things work and how irrational government is. But Greta, our country's in trouble. We've got so much debt, and whether it's a super committee or the Congress as a whole, we spent more this year than we did last year. The bills we're passing now will spend more next year. We're not cutting spending. We're not cutting our debt. We need one more election to turn things around.
Senator, nice to see you. Thank you,
Greta.
Thank you for coming tonight, sir.